All right, welcome to the Oregon Ducks Live on the Voice of College Football. I'm Bjorn, and I'm joined by Brendan and Brody. And on this podcast, we're going to be going through the Big Ten schedule release as it regards to Oregon and going through the games we're most excited for, ranking them 12-1. And then we're going to be kind of bouncing around the greater college football landscape, some big transfer portal news tonight. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of a shorter podcast than normal, but it'll be action-packed. You guys ready for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we can get straight into the rankings of the games we are most excited for. We're going to be going 12-1. I would argue that the 12th – so let's put this schedule on the screen. The first game got cut off. It's Boise State at home. And then underneath the Oregon Ducks Live is Portland State. And then at the bottom, it's Michigan State or Ohio State. No, Michigan State and Washington to finish the year. Those get cut off. But so at 12, I personally have the Portland State game. What do you guys have?
Yeah, me too.
Well, I would typically agree, but I think there's a team out there that's even worse than Portland State. So I got UW in the 12th. It's just a poverty program. Their quarterback doesn't even want to be there. Just not really that entertaining of a game because you're going to win by about 80. Just the talent difference, the coaching difference, just everything. UW's just poverty. So I got them at 12.
Okay, well. On a real note, Portland State is number 12. I mean, it's not much that needs to be talked about. They're, not a power conference team. They're an FCS school. Oregon should handle business. Previously, we've beaten them by like 70 points. I think it was my freshman year of college.
70-7. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just an absolute slaughter. So I would imagine it's gonna be a similar situation. Maybe not 70-7 slaughter, but probably like a 45-7 game or something. We allow a late game touchdown. I mean, it's an exciting game if you're a Duck fan because it's we get excited. It's like, whoa, big win, but take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and Portland State. I mean, our FCS game last year was against Montana State, and they were a FCS title contender. So, and it was the season opener, home opener. So that was something to get
Montana State, didn't they win the Natty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not just FCS title, they're FCS national champion.
Yeah, going into that game, but this game is, it's the third game of the season. It's the second home game. There's not going to be a ton of anticipation around it. But there is one thing that we could see if the Boise State and Oklahoma State games aren't complete blowouts. Which I personally don't expect to be as much of a blowout as Portland State, is the kind of introduction of Dylan Raiola to Duck fans. I think he could see the field in his first game against Portland State. That's something to look forward to in this one. Not much else. I think it's just a lot of guys will see reps that you might not see other games. So at number 11. This is, for the rest of the list, I feel like we could have some disagreements. But at number 11, I have road against Michigan State. What do you guys have?
Ooh, I have Oklahoma State, new coach, new quarterback. I actually
more exciting.
Think that might be a lot closer than I thought it was. But
Drew Mestemaker?
Mestemaker is going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to see what he can do. At a different level, but you kind of got to be realistic. They were terrible last year. They're going through a bit of a rebuild. They got some transfers in, but
I don't know if I agree with that.
That's fine.
Rough start.
I personally have Northwestern. It's just not an exciting matchup at all. There's no storylines there.
Chip.
I have Michigan State a little bit further up. My only knock on not having Michigan State there is just because it's a little bit exciting because it's not Jonathan Stewart, Jonathan Smith is their coach, and so it's kind of like
at Michigan State.
Yeah.
He got fired. He got fired.
Never mind.
Fitzgerald, so the former Northwestern coach.
Right. Yes, that's right.
But Brendan, for Northwestern, that's interesting that you put them there.
Aiden
I have
Childs.
them. Well, I have them much higher because I have Michigan. The draw for Michigan or Northwestern is that Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator, and that's I guess the only storyline coming into it, other than I guess Childs. But I think that'll be a fun one with that week leading up to it. Game may not be as exciting, but yeah,
it's just there's not much like excitement with Northwestern. They're just not like an exciting program or anything to want to play. Anyways, that's who I have at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we can move on to number 10. I have road against Nebraska. What do you guys have?
Oh, I have Northwestern on that game. I feel like it's at home. Don't really have any threat. Chip Kelly coming back in town. I was pretty excited about that, but that's all I got for them.
I have Michigan State here, so again, kind of the same reasons like Northwestern, Michigan State, just Big Ten opponents. Like they just exist. Like who cares? It's not like we have very high expectations for them. They'll probably finish towards the bottom of the division. I mean, I feel like these like 11 through like 9 spots, 11 through 8 are pretty interchangeable. So I just have Michigan State here.
Yeah, that was kind of my reasoning for Nebraska. They're just kind of the middle of the road Big Ten team, road game. Anthony Calandria is their quarterback. He was at UCLA. He's been at a couple other spots. It's an obvious one, but if Dante Moore does get hurt, I think Rayola against his former team, that would surge up the list, but he's not projected to be hurt. We think he'll be healthy, so that's why it's in my 10 spot. I think, like you said, these could be interchangeable for sure.
Yeah, for number 9, should we move on? Because number 9 is where I have Nebraska. So again,
gotcha.
Kind of same boat.
Yeah, Brody.
I got Boise State. I feel like a lot of my list too is like we haven't played Michigan State yet. We haven't played Nebraska yet. We've already played Oklahoma State and Boise State. It's been a while since we've played these teams, so I'm just excited to get to experience like something different. I got Boise State in my 9.
I also have Boise State there. That's it. I mean, the home opener kind of boosts it, season opener, but they're not expected to be very, very good. I mean, Mark Madsen is their quarterback, and he's not super dynamic. They're not. It's not super exciting going into that one.
No, I'm right there with you. Again, should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Because now I have Boise State. Again, it feels like these last 4 are all, you just switch them around. Brady, Bjorn, you go first. Who do you got?
I got at Illinois. I just don't think the setting of the game is going to be very aesthetic. It's another one, like you said, Brody, where it's the first time Oregon's going to be on the road against Fighting Illini. They played them at home in 2024. Wasn't a very particularly entertaining game. Ducks won big. But Illinois is another mid-tier Big Ten team. They're going to win 8-9 games with Brett Bielema as a head coach, but they don't play an exciting brand of football. And it's not a game that I'm circling on the calendar, as I really cannot wait to watch this game.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I have Michigan. Wait, are we on number 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Michigan State. Like I said, I don't haven't played them in a while, it feels like. So I'm just excited to, see what Spartan fans got on Twitter. Just like see their program. Sorry, Brennan. And just see what they got. So.
Yeah, we can move on to number 7. I have Northwestern in this spot. It's a home game, so that boosts it. But looking back at last year's game, and the rosters are pretty similar. besides the quarterback position for Northwestern. But it wasn't a very high scoring game. Northwestern normally has a pretty good defense, so they could keep Oregon under, kind of reaching their ceiling scoring wise. But I do think the ovation for Chip Kelly and that storyline leading up to that game is going to be something interesting, just an interesting footnote of the game. Though I don't think the game will be very entertaining as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at number 7, I got UCLA. I'm excited to see what they got. New coach coming in. They still got Nico. I feel like we've just always had a pretty good rivalry with UCLA, so I'm pretty excited. This is like getting to the games that like I'm actually like pretty excited to like turn on and go to and watch. So
I'm surprised you have UCLA so low.
Yeah, I just think that the other ones are going to be closer games. Like I said, like I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of programs like in their first year, like hiring a head coach. I just think there's a lot to like actually build on, especially against a team that I think is going to be, top 2, top 3 in the country. So I am pretty excited for UCLA. I feel like a lot of these could be exchangeable, but I got them at 7.
Okay, well, here's where I have Illinois. I mean, again, all of these like mid-tier Big Ten teams, not really good storylines. They're just not very fun. Like, this is my knock on the Big Ten. Is just that like these mid-tier teams, they don't really have an identity. Like, they're all just the same. It's not like we're playing in the Pac-12 where you got to worry about, Washington State's passing attack or, Stanford with their elite running backs that they had in the past. Like, these teams are just like they exist. They're cool, but like Northwestern, Illinois, Nebraska, like you're just looking at them, like they're just the same. Michigan State, they're all just like the same, just like different fonts. So I mean, I am equally excited for all of these games in the fact that Oregon should slaughter them, and that's my exciting input on them. But yeah.
That's kind of the curse of being such a high level team that Oregon is that there's going to be, we saw it in 2025. There's a lot of games where it's over in the first half, whether it's conference or non-conference. And it's entertaining for a half. And then the second half, it's maybe looking forward to guys who haven't gotten on the field as much. And that's the main draw for those games. And that's something we're going to see again in 2026. This roster's pretty stacked.
I get the vibe we'll see that a lot in the coming years. It's been that way for about 4 years now. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Okay, we can move on to number 6, and this is where I have UCLA. Kind of the same reason as Brody. I'm excited to see Nico. I'm also excited to see how Wayne Knight does, the running back from JMU, and the JMU head coach Bob Chesney.
Yeah.
I'm just really interested to see how they turn it around. If they turn it around, they went 3-9 last year, and I just think that's one of the more interesting situations in college football as a whole, especially considering the name of UCLA. It's a big program, and they haven't been a power in the Big Ten since they joined the conference, and I think that's something that they're really itching to be, is a Big Ten power. What do you guys have at number 6?
Before we go into that, Bjorn, my question to you is your next one, is that Oklahoma State by chance?
No.
Damn. Okay. Well, for me, I have Oklahoma State right here. Again, it's just exciting to see what, the North Texas rebranded team does. Just see how they play. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun environment in Stillwater. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of hype. Second game of the season, like it'll probably be pretty hyped up. And honestly, the atmosphere there can get good. And I'm sure, students, fans are going to be excited there. So I think that could be a fun game to watch for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Brody?
Yeah. Number 6, I have Nebraska. Right all going back rules. This is like really rules like first like full season with like all his guys. He's finally recruited. It's I think it's 3rd or 4th year, right?
Something like
at
that.
Nebraska. Yeah. So he's really got like the program where he thinks it should be. and we haven't, like I said, we haven't played them yet. So I'm kind of excited to see them try to come into Austin, and
yeah. I'll address this comment by Jackson Johnson. The November slate is the toughest for Oregon. Yeah, that's definitely something we're gonna touch on a little later. We're gonna dive deep into that and kind of compare it to 2025. But for right now, we can continue with number 5, which is where I have Brody's number 12 pick. I have Washington. I think they're gonna be good once again. 9 maybe push to 10 wins. Be on the outer kind of circle of the Big Ten powers once again. But I think DeMond Williams is going to be great again. It's going to be an interesting matchup. End of the season, I think the stakes could be really high for this one. It could be for like Ducks number 1 seed with the bye in the playoff, or even if Washington has good enough season, which I know, Brody, you would doubt, but they could even be playing for kind of backing into a playoff spot with a win as well. So I just think that with the stakes being the end of the season, this one cracks my top 5. What about you guys?
Before we move on, I would like to address the one comment. Actually, I'll address 2 comments. Sure, Big Ten's handing out favors. My counter argument to that is, how many times has USC made the playoffs? How many times have they been nationally televised? They were nationally televised in Eugene, Oregon. So something to keep in mind here. Maybe there's a reason for this.
Yeah, and they play. Sorry, I was going to say Ohio State before Michigan's not that easy of a game. And I mean, but you can't really argue with them having 2 FCS teams in a row in Portland State and USC. So that is a fair part.
And the other comment I want to talk about here is this game, this one. I think that Ohio State would probably be a game day. I'm going to be honest with you. Ohio State and Oregon,
for sure.
That might be 1 and 2 again. So I don't know about Michigan. I don't know if I'm buying in the hype of Michigan. So we'll see. We'll see about Michigan, but could be another situation where it's back-to-back or it's 2 game days for Oregon again.
I think it could be USC week 5 or week 4. I mean, that's another big one, as Jackson Johnson points out. And yeah, I could definitely see that being an NBC kind of 4:30 kickoff on the West Coast. The setting of the game is just the Memorial Coliseum. I've been to the Memorial Coliseum, and it's just awesome. It's one of the best settings in college football. Best one that I've been to. And I went to the Rose Bowl. I went to a UCLA game last season, and it was far from filled up, so it didn't have the aura that the Rose Bowl normally would have. But I think that's definitely. Oh God. Oh yeah. Good point. Yeah, I think you could argue there's 3 possible game day opportunities, and then.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, all the ranked games. I mean,
yeah.
Who knows what can happen? We saw that happen for Oregon this last year. We had 2 game days in Eugene, which has not happened in like 10 years, where there's been 2 game days in the same place. So that was kind of a big deal. But yes, to touch on these ones. Rest in peace, the Civil War. It's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, no offense to Oregon State, but it's probably good they don't have a guaranteed loss on their schedule these next few years while they're rebuilding. But yeah, I fully agree with this. Like, what happened to the night games? The night games are the best. I mean, we're students here at University of Oregon, and there was 1 night game last year, and it was against Minnesota.
It was like Friday night game, so it was a little different than a Saturday night game too.
It's sickening. It's sickening.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I guess let's get back on the schedule here. Or Brady, you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, it's always better when you can like build up to the game as students. So I think that's I think we need to see some more night games next year.
Yeah, as students and just like fans in general who are, tailgating. I saw like a news piece where I was kind of interviewing tailgaters, and they were serving breakfast for like basically the entire season until the playoff game, because the playoff game was at 4:30, and then finally they could serve like lunch, dinner kind of food.
Oh yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah,
because there's 12:30 kick, and you're getting there at 7, 8 a.m. You're not serving tacos or anything like that. You're serving pancakes, that sort of food. So that's just something that
meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one more thing before we move on. Like me and Brent have talked about this a lot. Like as Ducks fans, we 100% hate UW more than Oregon State. Oregon State kind of feels more like a little brother school like now compared to like the Pac-12, because it's just like it's really not the same level anymore. And I feel like it's just always 100 like way more toxic with UW fans. Like we have a lot of friends that go to Oregon State, so it's like you kind of like had that little party that wants to root for them. But with UW, it's just like if I find out you go there, I'm actually going to stop talking to you. Like the rivalry runs deep in this modern era between Oregon and UW.
Yeah, I mean, and it used to be like that with USC. I mean, I don't like USC fans. Sorry, Trojan Fight. You might be a great person, but I just don't like USC fans. But I don't hate them the same way I hate UW fans. I dislike USC very much. I will never root for them. Actually, that's not true. Actually, I did actually root for you guys during this last year to win a game so that Oregon could host 2 game days. So in that instance, I could still root for USC. But if it was UW in those shoes, I wouldn't root for them. So like you can understand like the level of there's levels to it. There's levels to the hatred and the rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I forget where we were. Were we at 4 or 5?
I think 5.
Yeah. So we're on 5 now. So this will be number 5.
So I said UW for 5. What do you guys have to say?
I have UCLA, and the reason why I have UCLA, kind of some of the reasons that we talked about. Nico, I think he's a good quarterback still, and I think having a revenge game for JMU's coach Wayne Knight. A lot of those JMU guys are getting their second chance at some of these Oregon players. Not in a playoff atmosphere, but there'll still be a good atmosphere here in Eugene, and so I think there's some fun storylines there. I mean, it'll be nice to see UCLA with their new coach going up to play against a really good team. What kind of things can happen? If there's probably going to be some buzz about, if they can upset Oregon, then it's like, hold on, UCLA might be, starting to be back. But again, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. They also have the potential to be take the LA sweep in back-to-back games. There's the bye in between, but beat UCLA or USC and beat UCLA, you really own LA with that.
Mm-hmm.
Brody?
Yeah. I got Illinois at number 5. I feel like they're always a really well-coached team. They're going to have 8 or 9
Brody,
wins.
I'm not going to lie. What was going on here with your list, man? I feel like me and Bjorn here are on the same page. It's like, UCLA.
What's wrong with Illinois? Illinois is always a very well-coached team. We have to go into Illinois.
Are you excited to watch an Illinois game? Are you excited to turn on the TV and watch Illinois?
I think it will be one of the better. I think it's the top 5 toughest game for sure. So I'm just excited to watch those closer games. They're 8 or 9 win program, and we're going to them. It's similar to Iowa this last year. While I think Iowa has a better identity,
Iowa has
is a better team. Like they have a long-standing coach. They have 8 and 9 wins every season, and I just think that Illinois is just going to be a better football team than Nebraska or UCLA. I just think that they're going to be better coached, and we have to go to them. They're not home games.
I agree. I agree with, but like you've got Illinois above the Nebraska, Northwestern,
UCLA.
Michigan State like grouping. Like I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know.
Because they're a better team. They're going to be a better team.
Yeah, but that's not what like. I mean, sure.
Hey, it's your list. Your list, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
It's a weird list, but sure, man.
Yeah, Brody, I'm interested to see what your number 4 is.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I want to see the rest of your list, but yeah.
My number 4 is UW. I was trolling earlier. I got UW at 4.
Oh,
okay. It's a rivalry game. Their quarterback doesn't want to be there. Poverty program, terrible head coach. But I do think that they are significantly worse than my top 3. Not significantly, but I think my top 3 are just better teams. And we have to go on the road.
Best teams on the list. I mean,
yeah, like I think those will be the most entertaining games. But I do hate UW, and I'm excited to see them try to come to Autzen and get whooped again, like they have the last 2 years, like the little brother they are. So.
Yeah, I also have UW here in the 4 slot, kind of for the same reasons. I mean, they'll have an experienced quarterback. It should be a good game, but they're playing at Austin. Dan should get the job done. I don't think that they're the way that I fear teams nowadays are, does the team have any chance to blow us out? And if the answer to that question is yes, then I'm terrified. If the answer is no, it's going to be a close game, then I'm not scared. So UW will not blow out Oregon. They don't have the coaching for that. I'm not necessarily too worried about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have Oklahoma State in this spot. I'm personally like super, super excited to see what Oklahoma State's going to be in 2026 with Mestmaker. They got the running back Caleb Hawkins, wide receiver Wyatt Young, I believe is his name. Bunch of dudes who scored a lot of touchdowns with the Mean Green last year. And they got the North Texas head coach as well, 54 transfers coming in. And that may seem like a high number and it's going to be hard to mesh, but they have all the spring practices. They have fall camp. They're going to have a game before they play Oregon. So I'm just really excited for that. I think that has a chance to be a really high scoring game, and games in Stillwater are always fun when the team is good. They were not good last year, so it wasn't a great atmosphere, but when the Cowboys are good, those fans show out. And I think they're definitely going to show out early season. The anticipation is going to be super high. And yeah, Trojan Fight says North Texas 2.0. Yeah, they're basically disguised as the Mean Green. And they almost made the playoff last year. If they beat Tulane, they would have played Ole Miss in the playoff. So that
probably a similar result, but
yeah, definitely. But Mestmaker I think is the real deal. I think he's an NFL draft prospect. I don't think maybe in 2027 draft. I think maybe another year at the FBS at the Power 4 level.
Yeah, I agree. And also it's to kind of add to your point, I have them at 6, but again, not too far
off. There's a bunch right there,
Yeah, they're exciting as well because like I said earlier, like it's one of the first games of the season. Like there's going to be some excitement for Oklahoma. Like now if this was like the 8th or 9th game of the season, Oklahoma State fans, when they're, probably inevitably like 3-9, they could be really good right off the bat, but when they're inevitably like 3-8 at that point late in the season, it's like, all right, fans aren't gonna be excited. But new coach, a lot of new players, in what's Stillwater, Oklahoma's it's a good spot. Like there's good fans out there. There's gonna be some excitement for this game, and so I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like it's not like them coming in to play against us this last year, like with their third string quarterback that was fresh out of high school or something. Looked worse than some high school quarterbacks, but yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of like casual kind of Duck fans like kind of brushing this game off like it's nothing at all. Like it's going to be 69-3, which it's not. I guarantee that they're not going to win. Ducks aren't going to win by 50. It's a road game. Even if Oklahoma State was as bad as last year, they wouldn't win 69-3 on the road. And it's the skill position guys are so much different. I think the Ducks are going to have a huge advantage in the trenches, which is probably going to be the difference. But it's going to be fun to see the skill position guys, the quarterback, the head coach's offensive system at the Power 4 level against such a good team like Oregon. So that's why I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
All right, number 3. Brendan, what do you got?
Number 3 is where I have USC. It's at USC, so it's going to be an exciting game. These next 2 and 3. I have spoiler. I have Michigan at number 2. I feel like they're interchangeable. It's just the only reason why I chose USC like for number 3 is because it's an away game and it's not at home. So which I guess that could be more exciting, but USC isn't exactly known for having like a phenomenal, turnout, like fan base wise. But they probably will this game. But
they will for this. Yeah,
I'm just not that intimidated. It's just USC. It's the same USC that they have. That's every year. They're gonna have a buns defense and a phenomenal offense. It's gonna be probably a 35-24 final score game or something like. Maybe even. Closer.
I would say more.
30, like 42 to 35, game. So it's going to be exciting in that regard. I don't know. It's just USC. We've played them a bunch of times. So, USC.
Brody?
Yeah, I also have USC. I mean, not necessarily the same reasons as Brennan. I actually think USC has a lot of talent and they have a lot of potential just on that roster, but their schedule is just so tough that I don't think that they're going to be able to push for the playoffs. They might finish, 9-3, 8-4, but with like 3 or 4 top, 10 to 15 losses. I don't know. I think if Lincoln Riley ends up going 8-4, 7-5, he probably gets the can. But it'll be early in the season and it's at the Coliseum. So I'm just excited to see them.
I don't think
it'll be really talented.
I don't think USC's getting only 5 wins next year, homeboy.
I said 7-5 or 8-4. They have a really hard schedule.
They do. Sorry. I thought you said that like if he gets 4 or 5,
no,
you say 7 and
no,
5.
I'm saying like if he like has 4 or 5 losses, he might get
a non-bowl eligible. I mean, I would agree if you got 4 or 5, if he was not bowl eligible, then you'd probably get fired
mid-season. So I also have USC at number 3 and Michigan number 2. I think the USC game is going to be really entertaining. Mayava is really, really good. It'll be his second year as the full-time starter. And Tanook Hines, he thrashed the Ducks' secondary last year.
Yeah, he did. He
had 140 yards and a touchdown.
USC fans have someone to be excited for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Nuts. I mean, Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon are gone, but Hines is definitely next up. So I think that one's going to be high scoring. And like I said, it's in the Coliseum. Great place. Hopefully it's under the lights because that adds to the aura even more. And I think it's huge that it's early season. So if the Trojans do implode, it's not an end of the year game where it doesn't really have any stakes for USC. There's definitely going to be stakes for them in week 4 because they're entering the season with playoff hopes. They're ranked 13th. They're right on the edge of it. And then
I believe there's a world where USC loses 2 games this year and makes the play. They could even lose 3 games and still make the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a world where that's the case. I mean, we've seen it with these 3 lost teams. I mean, say USC loses to Oregon, and Oregon doesn't implode later on in the season. That's not a bad loss. Like, I don't know if they're gonna get punished for that game, but I mean, at home, you never know. I don't know. I don't necessarily know the rest of their schedule. Bjorn, who else do they play Ohio State also?
Yeah, I think they play Ohio State and Michigan. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, because I know that they play. I'm pretty sure they play Ohio State and us. Ooh,
that is a little tough. Yeah, so they play at Rutgers right before Oregon. That's a super long trip. Not a good team, but that is a tough one.
I see what he was talking about earlier. He's talking about going to the East Coast.
Oh boy, they end the season with four out of their last 6 games are road. At Penn State, at Wisconsin, at Indiana, at UCLA. They play Ohio State and then at Indiana.
Yeah, but Brennan, you got to realize too, like they play Oregon, UW, and then at Penn State too at the beginning of the season, and then they end it with at Wisconsin versus Ohio State, at Indiana, and then Maryland and UCLA. But dude, that's what I'm saying though. Like, there's a world if they don't beat Oregon, they just implode, dude. I'm actually being serious.
They're not going to be Penn State 2.0. I promise you. I think they're.
I don't know. I think there's a world.
That might be the whiteout game. Like,
I mean, they play an absolute gauntlet of a schedule. Oh my god! If you guys, but that's the other thing is you guys can lose to Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State and probably make the playoffs still. That there is 100% a world where that is like 1, 2, and 3 or 1, 2, and 4, something like that.
Brody, you hit it on the nail. That is going to be the whiteout game for Penn State because they play Purdue, Minnesota, and Rutgers at home. That's their other games.
Yeah. So and you're telling me is it at UW, Bjorn, or is it versus UW? Do they play at UW?
It's home. It's home.
No, he's saying Penn State. Or wait,
no. But I'm just saying, like, they play them back to back. Like, they might split those. Like, they could very easily lose 4 or 5 games. Like,
Well, they could split. They could easily lose one or two of Oregon, Washington, Penn State, and then they still have the Ohio State, Indiana later in the season. So that's really an uphill battle to make the playoff.
Trojan Fire, are you talking about for USC? Like that all of your tough games they play an easy opponent before? I'm just wondering if that's what you're talking about. Because if that's the case, then yeah, dude, I feel bad for you guys. Like genuinely, that is not fair.
If they had almost any other schedule, I would probably be like, they're probably gonna make the playoffs because I do really like their roster. But they have the toughest schedule I have seen in the Big Ten so far of like the actual good teams.
No, this is by far the toughest Big Ten schedule we've seen.
Like I hate them so much, but it's like, dude, like that is so cooked. Like it's really unfortunate for Lincoln Riley in his career, but
yeah, most definitely. Yeah. I mean, you guys remember Wisconsin last year? They had, I'm looking at right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ranked opponents, 5 in a row at one point. But they were were never going to compete for the playoff. And USC, like, there's a lot of stakes.
They're in there. Yeah. But like again, USC goes 8-4. I mean, that's about what happens every year for them. But like, you can't fire Lincoln Riley after that kind of season. Like, you know, maybe if it was our schedule and you went 8-4, then yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
There's always drama at USC though, and I think that's something the behind the scenes stuff that could end up being the end for him. But if he keeps the locker room, keeps the team throughout, you know, kind of an 8-4, 9-3 season where they don't make the playoffs, I definitely think you could see him come back and Mayava potentially as well for another year. But
they could be really good. They could be very dangerous.
Yeah. Well, Brennan, just remember they got look. Just wait till their incoming recruiting class. Okay, you just gotta wait every single year. Yeah,
you just gotta wait for about 20 of them to transfer out after a year because they don't get playing time, and then they just go and suck somewhere else. But thank you for this information. This was unknown to me. This is, good to know.
Never knew.
Congratulations to Indiana on their national championship. But we got next. Hopefully,
it's a new season now.
It's. I'm like a Cowboys fan. This is our year. This is our year. I'm gonna keep saying it until it happens. All right. So I guess we can move on to number 2, which is Michigan for all of us. I would assume.
Yeah. I can
delusional not to say that it would be Michigan.
Kind of elaborating on Michigan and why it's not why I didn't have USC, because the USC game's huge early season, but the Michigan one, for me, I think right now I'm gonna pick Michigan as number 2. But if Oregon loses to Ohio State, if I had that knowledge in advance, which obviously I don't, but if Oregon loses to Ohio State, that kind of, I don't know, it kind of lessens the stakes of that Michigan game. You could look at it both ways, where it could rise the stakes, where you need a must win.
I would argue it raises the stakes if Oregon's
only
has one loss. Michigan. I mean, Ohio State.
Okay, Bjorn, think about it like this.
Coming off a loss, I just wouldn't be as excited for that game as I would be if they came into it undefeated.
Well, not really, because that's like a get back. Like that's a get back week.
I guess
you lose.
I mean, yeah,
you lose.
Is. You're right.
In Columbus, it's like, all right, let's go show the world like that we're not frauds. Like say we lose to USC, say we lose to Ohio State. Both of those are away games, right? So understandably so, they're not going to be easy wins. Say we lose to both of those teams, right? Ohio State's probably sitting at the top of the standings. USC, if they beat us, are probably still sitting at the top of the standings. I mean, barring an implosion. But, you've got 2 losses. Losing to Michigan, we'd be out of the playoffs, which would be kind of crazy to experience. Like these 16-team playoffs, like Oregon should be in there every single year. But I think losing to Ohio State would raise the stakes in that regard. Like,
I see what you're saying. I just think it's real. I picked Michigan obviously, but I think it's really close with USC because of the early season with the Trojans and Michigan. There's a chance that they aren't as good as we think either. I think it's almost a chance as USC. Bryce Underwood wasn't great last year. I don't personally think he's super great either.
It's tough, to be honest with you. I think objectively USC is the second best game and second most interesting game on our schedule. But I think like we haven't played like a good Michigan team before. I mean, the team that we played was I think that Davis Warren at QB, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that dude was.
They were just spamming the Colson Loveland all game.
Yeah. And so like now we get to play against a real competent team. I mean, again, they also have a new coach. So who knows? Late in the season, they could have a good season. They could have a really good season, and for them, like that would be a big game, you know. But I think the only reason why I have them ahead of USC is just it's a home game. It's gonna be in Austin, so there's gonna be hype for it, you know.
Yeah.
Late season.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying. Like, I feel like I'm always more excited for these late season matchups because, you know, they start to mean more. You kind of know where your team's at, just like position wise, as far as like, oh, do we need to win this to make the playoffs? I know that's foreign to USC and UW fans, but that's not the point. Michigan, you know, Whittingham has always been such a tough matchup, I feel like, for the Ducks historically. And, you know, I don't remember if I think Laney might have played him once in Autzen our freshman year, Brennan, right? But
against Kyle Whittingham?
Yeah.
It was Utah.
Well, and our sophomore year, Bo went in there.
Oh,
Remember when Bo went to Utah and dropped 45? I think it was like 45-7 or something we just.
Yeah, but those aren't the Utah teams of the past. You know, I feel like Michigan.
That was a good Utah team, though.
But they don't have the same talent or recruiting as Michigan does, though. You know, like they have Bryce Underwood, they have some exciting guys, and Whittingham's always been a fantastic coach. So I'm just excited to see him, and it being at Autzen, you know, late season. You know, potentially game day if Michigan's actually good. So I got that. That's why they have the slight edge over USC for me.
Yeah, justifiable.
Yeah, good point.
I guess we can move on to the very obvious number one. Well, congratulations, guys. We actually all three had the unanimous top three, which is good. It means that we are not brain dead. But
I might
Ohio State. Yeah, Brady, I don't know what's going on the rest of that list. I mean, actually, Brady, your top four was good. It's the same as mine. I mean, Bjorn's was basically the same. But he's UW at 5.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, sure. I can just understandably, I'd be excited to watch them play. But yeah, Ohio State by far the most interesting game on the schedule. Oregon is like the last time we played them, we beat them in Ohio State with CJ Stroud. You know, pretty good receiving core they had. They had some guy named Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Those guys are pretty good, but no match for Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown and CJ Verdell right up the middle. So I'm hoping that we have a similar experience. But we also had Mario Cristobal, which Mario Cristobal might be the Ohio State killer. I don't think Ohio State has beat Mario Cristobal yet. I don't think they ever will because they probably will never play again. But yeah, Ohio State, they're really good playing in Columbus. They're going to be a rowdy bunch of people.
Definitely.
And we didn't get to play them this last year, which was unfortunate. But next year that is by far, like, that's the one game I have circled on my calendar. They probably want revenge for what happened in Autzen, but I don't think they care because they beat us in the Rose Bowl so badly that I don't think that they care about what happened earlier in that year. I mean, they're going to be talented. We're going to have to see what Julian Sand does. I don't really want to play against junior year Jeremiah Smith. So let's just – maybe he wants to sit out for the rest of the season and you know, get ready for the draft. That'd be great. That would really benefit us. With our young corners, like Finney against Jeremiah Smith is going to be an interesting matchup. It's either going to put Finney into the first round, like a top 5 pick in 2028, or it's going to be a whooping. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Now you got it, bro.
Okay, I was going to say, I really think CJ Verdell needs to be out there as honorary captain. Yeah. Jordan Davison and De'Aaron Hill just need to channel their inner CJ Verdell just right through the heart of the shoe.
We also need Verone McKinley. Verone McKinley there, the general. He had a clutch game time game-stealing interception in that game. Like, that dude was a beast. So maybe him as well as an honorary captain, offensive and defensive captains.
Yeah. I think there's a very real chance that this is a top 5 matchup. I don't know if Michigan or any other game on the schedule does that. So I think we're all gonna be real giddy and excited for this matchup. Yeah, nervous. A little bit, and especially going to Ohio State. We haven't played there yet in the Lanning era, so let's see if Lanning can have a really tough road game and go out there and get it done as head coach.
Yeah, I have 2 things to add to that. So looking at Ohio State's schedule before they host Oregon, it's really tough. So they go at Indiana, which is going to be, that could be the biggest game on their schedule from their point of view. And then they have a bye, and then they play at USC. So there's 2. I wouldn't predict that they'd lose to USC, of course, but that's 2 potentially tough games that they could take a loss in one of them. And then they could also be looking for revenge against Oregon to kind of save their season, not be a 2-loss Big Ten team to make the playoff. So that's something to watch out for. Yeah. And then the other thing that I was going to bring up, Brendan kind of said it, but there's a lot of game within the game matchups with Finney and Jeremiah Smith. That one's super. I'm super excited for that one to see how those guys match up.
Dante Moore, Julian Sayin, potential 2 Heisman candidate QBs. Ooh,
exactly. Yeah, and Sayin and the Ohio State offensive line against Oregon's defensive line is a huge storyline going into it. And yeah,
I would be curious to see what Ohio State fans if they're more intimidated by Indiana or by us. I mean, I would assume they're going to say Indiana just because they hate Oregon. But I think if we were to get a real thought, I would imagine they would pick Oregon, but you never know. I mean,
I would say the road game against Indiana kind of tops that.
Yeah, but let's see what Indiana does next year before we can really give Kurt Signet. I mean, he already has his flowers, right? He won a national championship. But I mean, before we can really establish him as all right, this dude's he's generational. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Just because his team was really old, 24-year-old guys. He now is going to have to deal with younger players. I mean, they did well in the transfer portal. Is Josh Hoover going to be that guy? I don't think he's nearly as talented as Mendoza was. I mean, Mendoza he's been a dog for a while. I mean, if you follow him at Cal, you've known his name. If you're a college football fan, you've known who Fernando Mendoza was for 2 years now. So him going to a good system with a good coaching staff, he's going to succeed. Josh Hoover, on the other hand, who knows? I don't know if he's that guy, but they lose a lot of their talent. Huh?
Yeah.
Indiana runs a lot of RPOs. Mendoza was number 1 RPO thrower in the country. Hoover was number 2. So I think Signetti really goes out and picks his guys well for his system and see who produces and fits his system. That being said, it's really hard for me to see Indiana just being the number 1 team in the country back-to-back years, with that constant turnover, because Florida State was really good with a bunch of transfers and old guys, and then the next year they were terrible.
But
Signetti significantly better than that, that bum in Florida. And I just do think that they'll, probably make the playoffs again. But I would argue, just talent-wise, I think the Ducks team is phenomenal. So
I think they'll make the playoff. Is my prediction. I don't. Yeah.
Let me look at their schedule. Let me look at their schedule.
But I don't think that they'll. I don't think that they're deserving of being number 1. I think that's just the national championship hangover, kind of. And then also it's Signetti. He wins, and that's the main draw for them being number 1.
I mean, dude, Indiana plays a really tough schedule. They play at home versus USC. They play at UW, at Michigan, home versus Ohio State. Listen, here's my thoughts on this. This team for Indiana was special, right? It exists in the world where there are certain teams that are just special. We look at LSU a few years back. That team was special. After they lost all those guys, they were not nearly the team, right? The Indiana team, not this last year who won the national championship, but the year before was not a good team. They were frauds. They played the easiest schedule, one of the easiest schedules in college football, snuck into the playoffs, and got absolutely blown out. Right? There are 2 ranked opponents that they played. They lost to. Everyone else they played was unranked, and they absolutely just demolished them. They beat them like 50 to whatever. Right? But that's going to happen when you're a good coach, playing, out coaching other coaches, right? So for some of these, not just good programs. Now he has to play against 4 good teams with a less talented roster. Let's see what he does. Because, like I said, I feel like it's going to be a similar situation to what happened in 2024. Yeah, 2024, where they got boat raced by Notre Dame and then got waxed by Ohio State. And I'm not gonna lie, I see a world where Indiana is 8-4. I see a world where they lose to USC, they lose to Michigan. I see they could lose to Ohio State, and they could lose to UW.
So you're saying they're gonna lose every single game that is tough on their schedule?
No, I'm saying it's possible. If I was going to be honest with you, I think they go 9-3. 9-3 is what they do next year. Josh Hoover is not very good. If you look at, Brady, he was the number 2 RPO guy in the portal, or like he ran the second most RPOs. Yeah, how good was TCU this year, Brody? How effective was that for them?
I'm just saying, Cignetti goes out and he gets guys.
No, I know what you're saying.
Are going to be productive and good players.
Yeah, but
I
Josh,
I have the right as an Oregon fan to. I just don't think as an Oregon fan I have the right to question Indiana anymore. So I'm definitely going to say that they are going to be a playoff team and one of the toughest, teams on every team's schedule that they're on. And I'd be terrified if I was USC or UW having to play against
No, they should be scared. But, again, it's not like Jed Fish and Lincoln Riley they're not blind. He's not playing. They're like Indiana's not beating up on the blind kids like they were. They're like Cignetti's first year in there. You know what I mean?
Well, I would argue.
I don't know.
Lincoln Riley and Jed Fish are the worst coaches of all time. You got some F tier programs, and Indiana's just going to race both of them.
I'm just saying I could see them going 9-3. Like they lose 3 games or
that's fair.
9-3. I don't even think that's that far fetched. I just 16-0 is hard to come to repeat. It doesn't happen where you repeat national champion very often, right? Or even a repeat good team. Ohio State kind of had that this year, but they didn't really play anybody that was that good. When they did play against Indiana, they lost. And then they played against Miami and lost. And so, sure, they beat Texas, but are we really going to count that? And so, you know what I mean? Let's just see what he does. Before we were oh my God, Curt Cignetti's unbeatable. Let's see what he does with a much worse roster. This Indiana team that they're gonna have next year is not nearly as talented. They don't have the age and experience. They have not done great recruiting. They've been all right. They're young guys. Cignetti might be a phenomenal mind in football, but he might not be a good might not be very successful as a college guy. He won a national championship, right? So obviously he's successful. But I'm saying for these next coming years, let's see what happens. I don't know if Indiana is going to sustain. They're not Alabama. All I'm saying is that they're not going to be Alabama. They will go 9-3 next year, and they will be back to being, probably 8-4 or 9-3 every year. They're going to be a USC. That's what they're going to be. I'm going to be honest with you. You guys, Brendan, I've been watching college football long enough. It's just what's going to happen.
Brendan, I will dispute one thing that you said earlier. TCU did go 9. They did win 9 games last year and finished top 25. So that was with Hoover, and it does count. 9 wins is 9 wins.
The Big 12. Homeboy Bjorn, you could be back there at QB and win 9 games.
They're ranked top 25. My point is they finished season ranked in the top 25 with Hoover at quarterback. He's no slouch. He's thrown 71 touchdowns in his career. he's going to thrive in this offense. He's going to throw 30-plus touchdowns. He's got Nick Marsh, who's a star at Michigan State.
Yeah, no, that was a good pickup for them for sure. I don't disagree with that. Like, they got Nick Marsh. Like, Josh Hoover's good, but he's like more of an on-talent guy, not a game manager. So we'll see.
Charlie Becker too.
I guess
we'll see what he can do. But yeah, I think we can agree to disagree, and this is definitely something we can debate, further into the offseason.
We will definitely have plenty to talk about because I have very strong opinions. And listen, they've been phenomenal this year, right? Like, yeah,
that is
they
very
won a national
good
championship this year. Doesn't matter what happens next year.
Does not matter. Yeah.
But you got to realize we're Oregon fans, so all we do is project and look into the future because, we are the off-season national champions every single year.
7 times in a row now.
Yeah, that's the kind of how it goes. We are the hypothetical national champions. So, like, I obviously, like, college is different than if you're looking at, like, the NFL. Like, obviously the goal is to win a national championship, but it's a little bit different because you want to build a sustainable program. Like, that's almost it's not your priority, but it kind of is in a way. Like, there's a lot of places where guys that are younger start over guys that are older just because you want them to develop more, right? This isn't the NFL where the best guy starts no matter what. And so that's kind of my mindset in this is like, can Indiana sustain? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is their Cinderella run where they go 16-0. Like, they had a great year, but
we can definitely dive into it. We'll definitely dive into it in a later show. We could do a whole segment on this. I mean, we all have differing opinions, but I think this was a good pod. This was really fun to do. Get excited for the upcoming season with the schedule release. So yeah, thank you guys for all watching and listening to the Oregon Ducks Live on the Voice of College Football. We will see you next stream.